Top 10 longest lasting men's fragrances chosen by you guys. It's been a little while since we've done one of these viewer-led videos, and I know performance is always a big deciding factor when choosing your next scent that you want to add to your collection. And also seeing that a lot of people are going to have some extra money laying around from Christmas to holidays to splurge for themselves. We've got 10 long-lasting fragrances here. These are ranked in order, 1 being, I guess, the strongest, 10 being the least strongest, but yet still very long-lasting. Again, you guys are able to vote on this one. Make sure you get subscribed. That way you can see the posts over on the community tab. You can participate for yourself. You upvote the comments that you agree with, and that determines the order of the list. And I have to say, I like these choices here. These are all very long-lasting, very strong, very powerful. These here are ones that you can't go wrong with. And there's also a nice little selection here. So no matter what you're into, you're going to find something that you'll like. I will link them all down below to Discounter so you can pick them up along with the Fragrance Net 35% off link. That link will always automatically apply whatever the current 35% off code is. That way you don't have to try to go hunting around and find one that works. You always know you're getting the best deal by hitting that link, so hit that up. Let's jump into it. At number 10, we have Bentley For Men Absolute. Love that cool looking bottle here. Cedarwood, papyrus, pink pepper. Woods in general are going to be the notes in this one. It's what it's all about. Dry, masculine woods, spices, and a nice boozy touch. Stuff smells great. Absolutely incredible. One of my favorite affordable fragrances. This is great bang for your buck all the way around. From performance, longevity, to quality, to uniqueness. Everything about it gets an A+ for me. I think this is a great choice. I mean, you're expected to get at least 8 hours minimum out of this one consistently, or at least that's what I get. I think a lot of people agree with this as well. It made it into the list on the low side at number 10, but still very deserving out of all of the fragrances out there that could be chosen for this. This one still made it in, and I think that says something, especially at this price point. Make sure you don't sleep on this one. At number 9, we have Dior Homme Intense. This classic bottle right here, one of the most coveted, beloved designer fragrances in the community. Outside of the community, different story. A lot of people would turn their nose up to this and not like it, but fragrance enthusiasts generally gravitate towards this one a lot. And again, it's one that is very highly regarded here for great reason. I'm with you guys. This is amazing. I've been a big fan of this one for a long time. Iris, ambrette, lavender. It's a bit chocolatey. It's a little bit floral, sweet, kind of powdery. But yet, with all of that said, somehow, at least for me, there's still a little bit of a masculine touch. You know, it sounds weird when you're talking about iris, floral, sweetness, powderiness, and then you say masculine. It sounds backwards. It sounds like it doesn't make sense, but there's something about this one that strikes just the right amount of balance to where there's this slightly charming masculine edge about it that it just works. Very well done here. And like you would imagine with a note breakdown like that, with a fragrance like this in general, the longevity is very, very good. On my skin, this is one that I expect at least 8 hours out of at the minimum. A lot of times it'll stick around for much longer than that. This one, to me, typically will be closer to my skin towards the end of the day there, which is what I like, you know, more of a personal scent, but it will hang on for a long time. Very long lasting for sure. At number 8, we have Versace Eros Flame. So this one here is an eau de parfum. It has kind of the typical Eros note breakdown, but with the addition of orange, some other fruits, some other citruses. This one is a little bit more citrusy, creamy, aromatic compared to the original Eros, which is kind of just mint and apple forward with that tonka bean. That's kind of the main focus of the original. This one kind of diversifies. It spreads out. It touches on some other notes, like I mentioned, the orange, some of the other citrus, some of the other aromatics in here, like the lavender. You kind of get a wider spread with this one. Instead of just being mint, apple, vanilla, that sort of thing, tonka bean, with the original, there's a little bit of a different twist here. Again, it is still touching on that original DNA, but with its own character, its own flavor here. And I do like Flame. I think it's a great scent. These days, I find myself really reaching for the Parfum the most. And before the Parfum, I was reaching for the EDP a lot. But every now and then, I would pick up Flame if I want something different. A lot of times, if I want Eros, I go for Eros, EDP, and now the Parfum. But this is a nice change of pace, and I do think this is a good scent. Like I mentioned, it's an EDP, so the performance is great here. Longevity, it's no slouch. 8-9+ hours at the minimum for me. And number 7, we have a niche fragrance. This one is Instant Crush by Mancera. So this one has vanilla, it has saffron, it's got amberwood, there's some florals in here, there's some sweetness, there's kind of a bit of a fresher balance as well, but primarily what this one does is it's a Baccarat Rouge 540 inspired scent, but does go in that sweeter direction overall with the vanilla, that sort of thing. I find Baccarat Rouge 540 to be very woody, very transparent, and very light in terms of its delivery. It's not a light fragrance in terms of its performance though. It's actually one of the strongest fragrances that I have in my collection. So I'm just talking about scent with that one. It's kind of light, kind of airy. But with Instant Crush, again, it's more sweet, it's more heavy, it's more rich. You could say that there's a bit more depth going on in this one. So it depends on what you're after. This, I would say, would be more cool weather strict for me. I wouldn't gravitate towards this one when it's warmer out, like maybe I would for Baccarat Rouge 540, at least for climate-controlled environments. You know, if I'm wanting a date fragrance in the summertime, I would still probably choose BR 540 over this one. I like Instant Crush because it does have that depth to where I like wearing it when it's cold outside. It cuts through the air, it's a bit inviting, a bit cozy, a bit warming, and it is an absolute beast mode scent. It is an eau de parfum, and let's be real here, most Manceras, or at least a lot of them, are very strong. This one is no exception. It's ridiculous. This one's super strong. Red Tobacco is another one of their more popular fragrances that is incredibly strong, and that one did get commented. It just didn't quite make it. Don't be fooled. Even though this one was kind of voted lower on the list, it could easily be up there by the number 1, 2, and 3 spot in terms of its longevity here. 10 hours, 11+ hours at a minimum for me. So it can even go longer than that if I don't wash it off or fall asleep and forget about it or whatever. This will not go away unless you want it to, and by that I mean scrubbing it off. At number 6, we do have a new release. This one was voted up pretty high and it was commented multiple times. Sauvage Elixir. So it is cool to see this one getting some attention, and maybe sound silly because it's a Sauvage flanker. Of course it's going to get attention, right? But, you know, I would feel that the price point is a dividing factor with this. What did I say? 155 for 60 ml, somewhere around in there. That's expensive. I don't think anyone can disagree here. When you're talking about a designer fragrance at full retail with this bottle size, take a look at price per mil. With this bottle size, 60 milliliters. Not cheap. So I thought that it was going to get just not nearly the amount of attention right now, especially because you can't even get it at discounters yet and save a little bit of money. But this one is all over the place, and I have to say, it is a great smelling scent. I've said it a million times, I'll just say it again in case you're new to the channel, you haven't heard it yet. This is Sauvage for people who don't like Sauvage. Mind blown. The EDT is too screechy and loud and ambroxan heavy and youthful for you. If the EDP is the same, if the Parfum is still kind of in that direction, this will not be. Mature, elegant, refined, monstrous fragrance. This one will annoy you. So if you get this or sample it and you don't like it, it's not going away unless you scrub it off and make it go away. This will not just wear off after a couple hours and then you know how to smell it again. It will annoy you until you get rid of it. Very, very strong. 10, 11, 12 plus hours at a minimum. It's absolutely crazy stuff. So breaking into the top 5, it was cool to see this one voted into the top 5. Wanted by Night. It's got cinnamon, it's got tobacco, fruity notes, that sort of thing. It smells great. That is just a nice smell. I can't deny it. I can't lie. This smells amazing. I love this fragrance. You're probably tired of it. I'm tired of it too. Hey, I try not to feature it much anymore. You guys did it this time. It wasn't me. But you know, when you have something that is this good, or at least something that checks off all the boxes, of course, being good is a personal preference, it's subjective. There are a lot of people who don't like this, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong or that you have poor taste. It just means that you don't like it. So I think the way to look at it would be that it checks off a lot of boxes. And maybe you can disagree with some of these boxes, but for me, what I look at is performance, longevity, checked off. For me, it lasts a very long time. It projects hard. I think a lot of people, even if you don't like how it smells, would also get a similar performance out of this one. So it does that. Compliment factor, that's a huge one. Even if you don't like how it smells, if you wear it out, you will get compliments. Checks off that box. Does very well. Let's see, versatility. When you're talking about a fall and winter scent, this one is incredibly versatile. Once you get into this type of category, fall and winter fragrances, versatility gets tough because some things could be super hard to pull off and daring, and they wouldn't be, you know, maybe appropriate to wear. Maybe you would offend people, so it checks that one off as well. The uniqueness, it can kind of check off depending on who you're after, but the point is, it has a lot going for it, and I think that leads to its success here. Oh, the main one I missed, affordability. The price point, $40 around in there for a fragrance that lasts this long, does this well. It's such a useful tool. If you had a toolbox of fragrances, this has to be in there. It's kind of a jack of all trades, does everything really nice. And number 4, we have Tom Ford Black Orchid Parfum. So this was cool to see, something different, right? It got commented a few times as well. The comments that were commented were also upvoted a lot, so it was a popular one. This has truffle. There's some florals in here. It's a scent that is unique. It's different. Again, this is not Wanted by Night or, you know, Eros Flame. This is something that may be a bit of a challenge, may take you off guard if you are used to the more entry-level category fragrances. But if you want something that's ultimately a challenge, something that's different, unique, that sort of thing, you want to just kind of set yourself apart. And also, if you would like to have something that lasts a very long amount of time, a Black Orchid Parfum is one you should look into. I think it's great. I like it, you know, that truffle note is unique. This one does just have kind of a magical smell. You know, there's just something cool about this. It really is quite nice. And again, very, very strong, very long lasting here. It's no joke stuff. Parfum concentration, this stuff kills it. Breaking into the top 3 now. We'll go ahead and start here with Ultra Male. Got commented a few times, got upvoted a lot. Yeah, it's Ultra Male, man. Pear, vanilla, cinnamon, lavender. It's such an incredibly strong and overpowering sweet fragrance that just absolutely crushes it in the cold weather for the younger crowd. You can be any age and wear this one if you like how it smells, but if you were to do a poll here, I would say the majority of the people that really, really like this one a lot are going to be younger. There's nothing wrong with that. Something this sweet, something this playful, something this youthful is going to appeal to people who are young. Maybe they don't have as many responsibilities yet. Maybe they're still a kid at heart, you know. Maybe you're just in college and you're just having fun. You're you know, just being a college student, right? You don't have a full career yet. You're trying to party up and have fun. This is the type of thing that embodies that. It's a fun, playful fragrance with a whole bunch of performance. At number 2, we've got Spicebomb Extreme. We'll go ahead and pull off the little clip here just so you don't have to listen to that the whole time. This one's got tobacco, vanilla, black pepper. I've been on a roll of spraying all of these, so may as well spray this one as well, right? Sometimes I just like to smell stuff, and this is one of those days. I'm gonna do that again because I just caught that vanilla off the tail end there. Every time I smell this, it's like the first time. Vanilla is kind of like a bourbon boozy vanilla in here, very juicy, very sweet, kind of syrupy. You pick up on that without a doubt. The tobacco is this nice, rich red pipe tobacco. The black pepper is giving it a nice little spicy bite up top. This fragrance is beautiful. A 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Not afraid to say it. If you somehow don't have this one yet after hearing about it so many times, not just from me, but from kind of everyone in the community, just give into it and buy it. You got to do it at some point. Break down and pick up this beautiful scent because there's nothing else like it and you will love it. At number 1, we have Yves Saint Laurent. Why? EDP. I almost said Parfum, even though I'm looking at the EDP just because I've been talking about the Parfum, and the Parfum has been on my mind heavily here, but it's the EDP. Definitely agree 1000%. I knew when I was opening up this comment thread to put the video together, I knew this was going to be in there. I didn't really necessarily think it was going to make it at number 1, maybe number 2 or 3, but without fail, almost every time, this fragrance has topped a lot of lists that you guys have made, that I've made. Apple, sage, amberwood, geranium. It's a little bit green and minty. It's fruity from the apple, kind of fruity sweet. There's a little bit of an herbaceousness from the sage. The amberwood kind of gives off this blue fragrance twist, but it is completely different than every other blue fragrance out there. There's lavender, and that gives off a nice, clean, well put together, just fresh masculine smell, nice base layer. There's some mild woods in the base. It is such a great composition. It's kind of referred to as one of those basic bro fragrances, but this basic bro right here loves the heck out of this stuff, and I also really love the Parfum. This is another one that checks off all the boxes right here. So if you're someone who doesn't like how it smells and you're trying to figure out, why is this so popular? Are people getting paid to talk about this? No, as far as I'm aware, at least I know I'm not getting paid to talk about this or any fragrance. It checks off the boxes though. Performance, monstrous, 10, 11 plus hours, longevity at a minimum. It's crazy. Compliment factors through the roof. Quality is fantastic. It's from a prestigious brand. The price is not cheap, so maybe that's not a box that should be checked, but you do get good quality delivery for the price, and just a lot of people do like how it smells. It's very clean and fresh, and this fragrance right here is another one that needs to be in your toolbox. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 of the longest lasting fragrances chosen by you guys. Remember, if you go down below in the description, you will find a link to each and every one of these so you can pick them up at the lowest price, and also make sure you get some of that 35% off link down below that will automatically apply, and make sure that you get the best deal possible at all times. That link is always in my videos. Hit it up. Let me know down below your longest lasting fragrances that you own. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Happy New Year's.